We just got back from doing an escape room called, was it Time Escape?
Time Escape.
In Richmond. What did you guys think of that?
I loved it. It was the first one I'd done. I've done a number of these now. I've done like five of them. This being my fifth one. But this is the first one I did with a sci-fi theme, which was kind of really different. And usually you have these things where you're escaping a New York apartment or has some kind of horror theme, but it's all kind of grounded in our world and our reality. But this was something different. It was sci-fi, completely alien. There was alien stuff to have to deal with, different languages and different symbols. So I found it really cool. Mm-hmm. And the fact that we eventually made it out was fantastic.
Yeah.
We did need a little bit of extra time, and they were very nice. They gave us, what was it, five extra minutes?
Yeah.
That's all it took for us to get the job done. So, no, it was great. And there were certain sci-fi elements of it that were somewhat familiar. Like, there was a screen that looked a little bit like The Matrix. Yeah. And so there was a couple slightly familiar things, but those familiar things were just in style. They didn't help us solve the puzzle at all.
Yeah, and they had some like NASA jumpsuits. One was from Columbia, the other one was from
the Challenger.
Challenger, yeah.
That was kind of creepy for me, just noticing that they had the spacesuits, the jumpers that had the mission patches from the two shuttles that exploded.
Yeah.
And so that was interesting. I don't know if I was making it, if I would make the same choice, because the mission patches weren't relevant, and it's like, I don't know, a bunch of people died. Is that in poor taste? I don't know.
Yeah, but at the
what do you
same
think?
time, well, the thing is though, because I mean, they were talking about how it's like, you know, something crashed on the moon or whatnot, and they're trying to, and I think, and it's important for these time escape rooms or escape rooms to have red herrings in there. So I think it was a really good red herring, honestly, because it kind of distracted our focus for a little bit, and just kind of provided.
Actually, that was like the only red herring.
Yeah.
Like there was not everything else was in theme, like needed to be used.
Yeah.
There was nothing else distracting you away from it.
Yeah. There were cosmetic things. There was like the keyboard that was on the sphere that was not relevant.
Yeah.
But then again, those were just keys though.
Yeah, and so they obviously didn't work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't even buttons. They were just a printout that was on
like a sticker.
Like a sticker, and you could, as soon as you touch it, you know, okay, that's clearly not something.
Well, and I was admittedly kind of hoping that there would be a bit of a story behind it, though. Like, I was thinking, like, oh, what if, like, these aliens... Because there was alien text and there was English, and there was, like, numbers as you were used to seeing them, Sanskrit numbers. So I thought it'd be interesting if the story was they had, like, beamed out the people from the shuttles before they exploded, because I don't know if any useful remains were found or anything. And so, like, there was a movie, I think it was in the early 90s, maybe late 80s, called Millennium, I think, where aliens or time travelers, I believe, were stealing people from
time travelers.
Yeah, from plane crashes instantly before impact and putting in dummy bodies. Yeah, and so I thought if they were going to go down that road, I thought that would have been a really intriguing thing, given that it was those two shuttles. So if they were going to use it, I would like to see them use it in a plot. That would have been fantastic. But it not being used in a plot, I found they could have just used any mission patches. It wouldn't have mattered. Why did they have to pick the two disasters?
Yeah, well,
because that gave plausibility for them being there.
Okay.
Like if we had the ones for, say, I don't know, the
Ares and Apollo,
right? You'd be like, well, like those are accounted for, right? The only ones that are not accounted for, Challenger and Columbia.
Yeah, or it could have been from space shuttle missions that were completed, like the Endeavour and Enterprise or something.
Yeah. But no, I think, I think because we're all kind of writers, we're all very creative people, to us, like more of a plot and kind of being able to kind of flesh out the storyline a little bit more is kind of the automatic thing that we want. But not everyone really wants that. They need something that's going to appeal to all audiences, right? So, I mean, we're going to want something that's maybe a little bit more cerebral. Other people just want to be able to get through. So it's, I mean, there are some escape rooms where they have varying levels of intensity, varying levels of difficulty. And so you probably get more of that in that one. I'm not really sure, right? Because this is only my second escape room. The first one we did was like one of the easiest ones, which we failed. And then we did, because we got caught up in a red herring, basically, right? And then we did this one. Well,
I did one about a month ago where it was the second part of like an escape room sequence.
Oh.
So you did like the first escape room, and then there was more story afterwards. That became part of the second escape room to do that one, and then there's that kind of completed the story.
So kind of episodic.
Exactly.
Okay.
We did the second episode without doing the first because the guy who was booking it didn't book it until the day of, and all was left was the part two.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
And it was super hard.
Wow. Yeah, no, this was only my second escape room, but no, it was really fun. And I guess one way of looking at the mission patches is maybe they're just Easter eggs, and so that takes the importance and weight. Yeah.
Well, I don't think too many people are also going to understand the significance necessarily. There's going to be those of us who are older. I mean, come on.
It's disappointing.
You're
probably right though.
But the group that was before us, they were a bunch of kids girls who were in their age, whether 13 to 16 years old. Maybe they're not going to know. Right, and so
probably true.
We're different than that, and these things happen in our lifetime, and so obviously we're gonna be more cognizant of it. We're gonna see that and be like, oh my god,